This video is sponsored by HubSpot. Everyone is talking about AI agents, but in order to actually build good agents and streamline your workflows and jobs, you need to understand the core underlying patterns and principles, not just the buzzwords. Today, I'm going to talk about the fundamentals of building and harnessing AI agents. Hi friends, I'm Maddie. I'm a senior software engineer who previously worked at Google and interned at other big tech companies like Amazon, IBM, and Microsoft. And for the past few months, the single most common questions people keep asking is, how do you make good AI agents? So today, I'm breaking down what AI agents actually are, how they work under the hood, what patterns matter in real production systems, and what this means for your career right now. Let's get into it. Let's start from the very basics. What exactly is an AI agent? An AI agent is not just ChatGPT. When you open a chat interface and say, write me a cover letter, and it writes you a cover letter, that is not an agent. That's a prompt response cycle. You give an input, the model gives an output, done. But that workflow still has a human in the driver's seat. You decided what to ask. You read the output, and you decided what to do next. The single most important thing that turns a workflow into an agent is that the LLM replaces a human as a decision maker. Instead of you directing every step, the model decides what to do next, what tool to use, whether the output is good enough, whether to try again, and when the goal has actually been met. The loop runs autonomously. So here's a concrete example. Say you want a summary report on your 3 biggest competitors. You ask a chatbot. It's going to pull something from training data and give you something generic. An agent, given the same goal, can search the web for each company, read their pricing and news, create a draft, think about, and then iterate on that draft if it falls short of the original query, all without you manually directing each step. So this is actually the model making judgment calls on your behalf. There's a formal taxonomy of 5 AI agent types. Simple reflex agents just react to current input. Model-based agents maintain a memory of the world. Goal-based agents evaluate actions against an objective. Utility-based agents rank options to find the best outcome. And learning agents improve from experience over time. Most of what we're building in 2026 sits in that goal-based to utility-based range, with learning components layered on top. Before I get into the mechanics of how agents work, now that you have a solid understanding of what agents actually are, the next step will be putting this into practice. If you're ready to get started implementing them, then this free guide from HubSpot called the AI Agents Unleashed Playbook is exactly what you need. It gives you the practical frameworks and step-by-step guidance to build effective AI agents and get real results. So you can go from understanding agents to actually shipping them. First, it details a framework for figuring out what to automate next. You should look for tasks where you spend a lot of time gathering and organizing information, but the actual decision or creative work is quick. That gathering phase is your agent opportunity. There are 4 criteria for a potential use case: how frequently you do it, how much time it consumes relative to its value, whether the data is structured, and whether you can measure success. These 4 criteria filter out most bad ideas quickly. Second, the guide talks about an 80-20 principle that's refreshingly honest. You often can't automate a process end to end, and trying to do so is where most projects break. But if you can take a 4-hour task down to 30 minutes of focused creative work, that's a real win. So start there. And my personal favorite section is about agent literacy as a career skill. So what it means to shift from using agents to actually directing and orchestrating them. That connects directly to what we'll cover later in this video. I suggest you take a look at the AI Agents Unleashed Playbook. It is completely free and you can find it in the link in the description. This resource was made by HubSpot, who's sponsoring this video. Thank you. Now let's go one level deeper. Under the hood, every agent system, whether it's built with LangChain, llamaindex, the OpenAI Assistance API, or a completely custom stack, shares 5 core components. First is the brain. That's your LLM of choice. Claude, GPT, Gemini, whichever model you're working with. The model reasons and decides what to do next, and everything else exists to support those decisions. Second is memory. Agent memory comes in 2 forms. Short-term context lives inside the model's context window, conversation history, working information. Long-term memory lives outside. So for example, in vector databases like Pinecone or Weaviate, that the agent queries to pull in information that wouldn't fit in context. Defaulting to just dumping everything into the prompt is how you end up with bloated, slow, expensive systems that still hallucinate because the relevant information is buried. Third is tools. Language models on their own are just text prediction engines, but give them tools like code execution, web search, database access, API calls, and suddenly they can interact with the real world. Tool design is a genuinely underrated engineering skill. Fourth is orchestration. This is the control logic that binds everything together. Think about, when does the agent use memory versus searching the web? When does it stop and ask for human confirmation? When does it recognize that it's stuck? And finally, last but not least, the 5th component is context engineering. This is the practice of deliberately designing what the agent knows at each step: its role, its constraints, the format of its inputs and outputs, which tools are visible, and which aren't. The insight here is that the quality of your agent is not just a function of the model that you picked. A well-engineered context with a mid-tier model will consistently be a poorly engineered context with a frontier model. Besides the 5 components, there are AI agent patterns that are super useful to know. The first pattern is the react loop. Reason, then act. The model looks at its goal, reasons about the next step, takes an action, observes the result, and reasons again. The second pattern is planning and task decomposition. Complex goals are too large for a single loop. Agents break work into subtasks, sequentially or in parallel where steps don't depend on each other. Agents that skip planning tend to drift, get confused, and produce suboptimal outputs. The third is multi-agent systems. Instead of one agent doing everything, you design a team. So for example, a manager agent plans and delegates. Specialist agents handle specific domains. This is reminiscent of distributed systems thinking. How do agents share state, handle failure, and avoid stepping on each other's work? And the fourth pattern is human-in-the-loop design. Fully autonomous agents sound exciting, but most production deployments include deliberate checkpoints where a human reviews before the agent continues. Now, let's ask a question that isn't as emphasized when you get started building AI agents. How do you test an agent? With traditional software, testing is straightforward. Write a function, assert that the output equals the expected value, and you're golden. The core assumption is that the same input always produces the same output, but agents break that assumption entirely. The same prompt can produce different outputs on different runs depending on which tools get called, in what order, and what they return. You can't write a unit test that checks output equals X when X is genuinely variable. So the first engineering challenge isn't building the agent, it's answering a harder question. What does correct actually look like? This is more like behavioral testing than unit testing. You're not checking for a specific output, but you're checking whether the output satisfies a set of criteria. For example, did it use the right tool? Did it answer the actual question? Did it stay grounded in the sources or make things up? In practice, you built an eval suite, a curated set of test cases with no incorrect behaviors, and you run it regularly, especially after changing prompts, swapping models, or adding tools. You can use an LLM as a judge to score outputs against a rubric at scale, which doesn't replace human review but lets you catch regressions across thousands of cases without manually reading each one. You can track your metrics over time. For example, hallucination rates, task completion rate, tool call accuracy. This eval suite needs infrastructure to run it. That's what an agent harness is. And the mental model I find most useful is to think about it like distributed system observability applied to agents. If you shipped a microservice before, you know the baseline. Structured logs, trace IDs that follow requests through the system, metrics that track error rates and latency per endpoint. You wouldn't deploy a production service without this. The agent harness is the same idea. You instrument your agent to capture a full trace for every run, every prompt sent to the model, every tool it called, every result that came back, every decision point where it chose one path over another. These traces are a new kind of artifact that doesn't exist in traditional software. They tell you not just what the system did, but why. Tools like Langsmith and Braintrust give you this out of the box and are worth knowing. If you're building from scratch, think in terms of open telemetry style spans. One span per LLM call, one per tool invocation, structured attributes that let you query across runs. The harness becomes your regression safety net when you upgrade models, change prompts, or add new tools. Instead of pushing to production and hoping that nothing broke, you run your eval suite through the harness, compare the results to your baseline, and you have evidence before you ship. Now, looking at the big picture, there is a real and growing skills gap around AI agents, and that gap could be your opportunity. 91% of business leaders say that AI agent skills will be critical for competitive advantage within 3 years. But many engineers today know how to use agents only as end users, not how to build or architect them. So if you're early in your career, build something hands-on. Langchain and llamaindex are the most common starting frameworks. Build a research agent, a tool calling assistant, something that has to use memory and make multi-step decisions. If you're more senior, the opportunity is in multi-agent design and production engineering. Architecting systems where agents collaborate without stepping on each other, building evaluation pipelines, handling the observability and security concerns, those are senior level problems that very few engineers know how to solve well yet. The market numbers back all this up. The global AI agents market was valued at about $7.6 billion in 2025 and is projected to exceed $10.9 billion this year. About 79% of enterprises have adopted agents in some form, but only around 11% are running them in full production. That gap between adoption and actual production deployment represents both an engineering problem as well as a career opportunity. And that's all I have for you in this video. If this was helpful in helping you understand AI agents, please give this a like, hype the video, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.